This podcast is a proud member of the UUOP network.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the unofficial Universal Great Britain podcast. I'm Guy, and I'm here with Dawn and Lee, and we are going to continue delving into the Universal theme park coming to Bedford in the UK.
For episode 4, we're going to be carrying on looking through the information pack that Universal released in 2024.
But before we get there, I actually wanted to bring this up because as this is rare that this happens with podcasts, that we actually got it's not really an announcement, but a little bit of information sort of clarifying stuff today. And Guy, you actually brought it up to me before we started recording of the quarterly earnings call that came out today, where they basically said they're moving forward with the park as it is, and they're still expecting an opening date of 2031.
2031, it's getting closer.
Are they starting building something next year, 2026, I read?
Well, they still haven't got full planning permission yet for it, have they?
No, but I think at this point that's a technicality, a formality.
It is,
you know.
But yeah, they still need to sort of dot the I's and cross the T's for to officially go ahead. But you're right, I think it will definitely happen at this point.
And I think you're right, Dawn. I think that was announced at some point that they anticipated construction.
On their website, it says, when would you start construction? The projected construction start date is in 2026. But it's still subject to relevant planning consent approval. So I think they're definitely
recruiting for it.
Yeah.
A lot of job ads have gone live. But yeah, they are advertising a lot of jobs at the moment on the NBC Universal Careers website. Okay. Lots of them, a couple of pages of them. Everything from sort of like marketing type positions to engineering roles to production managers to, they've got a lot of jobs up.
So you would assume at that point then that if they're offering people jobs, then it's got to be going ahead.
Yeah. And, they've actually got, if you look at one of the job ads, it's got the location of the job is an address in Bedford.
Okay.
So
they're going to actually have creative offices on site then, by the sounds of it.
Yeah. Better get your applications in, Lee.
I would love to. It would be amazing. I know Tracy's already got hers interest in, so...
Did you not apply for?
I've signed up for sort of updates.
Yeah.
But I haven't applied for any.
Does that mean you need to move to Bedford?
Potentially. Unfortunately, I don't have an engineering background.
No.
So how hard is that with ChatGPT around?
It's a good job Tracy's not here. You don't mention ChatGPT around Tracy. By the way, everyone, she's not here. She's currently gallivanting around South Korea at this point, so can't be bad.
Lucky
her.
Yeah. I have to look back on my memories of being in Orlando 3 weeks ago.
Don't, Lee. Just don't. This is torture.
You're going again next year, shut up.
Yeah, but not for 4 months, which may as well be a lifetime at this point. You know what it's like.
Yeah, but you've got something to look forward to. That's the point.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you that. I do feel for you. I know that feeling well. Coming back and not having that next one to wait,
Don, I need you to make sure that the pair of you go to the Backwater Bar, take a picture of yourselves there with drinks and send it to us like we did to you when we were there.
Oh, we've already decided that we are going to recreate every single picture you send to us.
Brilliant. It was such a good trip, by the way. I don't want to go into it in detail.
We're going to structure our entire trip around doing that.
We'll need the same drinks as well.
Why not?
The same clothes.
I'll drink alcoholic drinks like Tracy did. And you can drink the soft drinks that Lee was drinking.
Yeah, but Lee was also drinking.
Oh, I was.
That's
I was
true.
drinking the watermelon vodka thing from the Backwater. It was really good, actually.
Ooh.
It was really good.
I'm going to try that.
It was pretty strong.
They also do a fantastic jalapeno margarita there.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Yeah,
spicy.
Really good.
I'm not a margarita fan at all.
I'm not really a cocktail person, but if I have to sacrifice myself.
They do make the drinks really strong in the States.
Yeah, not so much in the theme parks though.
No, in the theme parks.
That's why I was surprised they were there. I went to the Dead Coconut Club that night afterwards and met up with friends, and I was like, I'm a little fuzzy around the edges right now.
God, I miss it.
But it was awesome. It was a near perfect trip. It was awesome, and if the UK park is anything like epic, it's going to be amazing.
I can't wait because having to travel so far to get that sort of dopamine hit is awful.
Yeah.
I'm still a bit dubious about this.
We're going to have many conversations about... Let's not get into this now. These are conversations we will definitely have. But I agree with Dawn, because it's not going to be the same regardless. They could pick Epic Universe up and plonk it in the UK and it will still not be the same.
No, because for me, I don't know if we're going to get to this later on in discussions, but Guy and I were just chatting before, and to me, it's going to Universal, it's the whole bubble thing.
Yeah.
And it's also going on holiday.
Yep.
And it's like, and then I imagine packing for a week at Universal here in Bedford. It just doesn't seem
special.
I don't think it's a week-long destination. I think this would be like...
maybe not a week, maybe a few days. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, but
it's not going to be a week.
For us, the UK part could be like methadone for our Orlando heroin addiction, you know? It's to tide us over in between the trips.
I like that analogy. But it's right. It's part, like we've talked about it a lot between the four of us, that it's not just going to Universal, it's the American sort of hospitality is different than it is over here. There's the weather, there's so much more to it than just the actual nuts and bolts of the theme park itself.
Absolutely. And also the clientele.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the part I'm most interested in.
Yeah, by having to travel across the Atlantic, you keep a lot of the riff-raff out. Are we allowed to say that?
Oh, you said it. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I always remember, I think it was Thorpe Park years ago, and in one of the queues, they had such a problem with people sticking chewing gum everywhere. They actually started putting boards up where you could vote on things.
Yes.
By sticking your gum on the board.
That's a really good idea, though.
Only in England would that be necessary.
It's
I mean,
funny,
yes, a good idea.
Yeah.
But in no other country would that be an issue.
No. Although I could tell you stories I've heard from cast member and team member friends of things that have gone on in theme parks in Orlando that probably wouldn't happen over here.
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
There's always some, isn't there?
Of course.
There always
I mean,
is.
to be fair, they might have been British people for all I know. Anyway, we are
Probably
British,
were,
so we're not
were.
disparaging against our listeners at this point.
Well, anyway, going on to the planning pack, or information pack, Universal gave some information about their planning process. They said that our projects would have wide-ranging economic, social, and cultural benefits, both for and well beyond the local area, including for the wider region and country. One route for securing the necessary planning approvals to move ahead with our investment is through a planning permission granted directly by government via Special Development Order, SDO, where appropriate, following consideration by Secretary of State. The decision to determine whether this route is appropriate is evaluated on a case-by-case basis. The Secretary of State of the Department of Culture, Media and Sport, DCMS, has agreed to act as a sponsor for the project within government. The government has indicated that the consideration of any proposal will be subject to administrative arrangements to ensure functional separation between DCMS as sponsor department and the Department for Levelling Up, Housing and Communities, DLUHC, as planning decision maker. It is anticipated that the public consultation by DLUHC will be carried out prior to any planning decisions should we decide to take the project forward.
I like the fact that Dawn laughed there because I'm with her. I have no idea what any of that meant.
No, I've got absolutely no idea. I was reading it and I was trying to understand at the same time, but I was coming up completely blank.
It sounds very Harry Potter-ish, the Department of Levelling Up.
Yeah, the average person who's keeping an eye on this project will have no idea what that means.
Also, since when did we have so many departments?
Apparently, like we talked about this on the last episode, I think, the DCMS and the DLUHC, never heard of them ever.
Absolutely not. I mean, it's nice of them to include this information, but I mean, I think 99% of people reading it, this is absolute.
Do you think these were created for this?
I doubt they were created for this. But I think this is the first time they're probably involved in something so high profile.
Because it's interesting, isn't it? When you look at the theme parks in Orlando, it's the Department for something in agriculture that oversees the theme parks over there, which is really strange. So you would assume we would have had to have something over here that is kind of the same department as that that kind of overseas, because we do have a lot of theme parks in this country.
I think in the States, could that be a hangover from the whole state fair? Sorry?
No, Dawn's just correcting me. She's
right. Amusement parks.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Amusement parks. Yeah. That is. Yeah.
Our planning submission will be accompanied by an environmental statement, which will be publicised and subject to consultation with statutory consultation bodies and the public. The environmental statement, together with any other information which is relevant to the decision, and any comments and representations made on it, must be taken into account in deciding whether or not to grant consent for any proposal.
Yeah, which at this point, a lot of
This
this is
makes
already
sense, though.
a lot of this has already taken place.
Yeah.
Which I know a listener reached out to us who actually lives locally and was part of all of this. So I definitely want to get him on at some point because I think that would actually be really interesting to see it from a local's perspective.
Yes.
It is funny how they're deciding to explain the process to people in an information pack about Universal.
I wonder if they did the same when they started building in the States, in Florida and LA and Beijing. Like with people living nearby, I wonder if they have all of this information packs, all of this, or whether they already knew what a theme park would be. Because living in Florida, you already have Disney. I don't know when each of them opened.
I mean, Disney was about in the 70s.
Oh, yes,
Universal.
so they have Disney. Maybe they already understood what a theme park is, and maybe they didn't need all this information.
I think what you've got to take into consideration is it's now 2025 when this is going ahead, and things have changed a lot since like Universal Studios Florida opened 35 years ago. So the whole process will be different now because the whole process of a lot of things has changed. So, but you're probably right, Don. There is a bit of that there of trying to, like, we know you have theme parks in the UK, but you have got nothing on the level of what we do in the States, or what we've done in Beijing, or what we've done in Japan, or what we've done in Singapore. So really trying to sell the project to the people over here who don't know it exists.
Yeah. And I think there's a bit of the making it sound like a complicated process just to give them a way out if it didn't work out for whatever reason, you know.
Yeah.
Save face.
So yeah, as we talked about, the public engagement was what next. And so they said, as we continue to explore the feasibility of this project, we remain committed to engaging the Bedford Borough and Central Bedfordshire Councils and our surrounding communities. As part of this, we are now beginning a period of public engagement to hear local feedback on our proposal. And most people just went, we want Harry Potter. This is the best time to influence the potential project, whether or not you agree with it, disagree with it, or believe it can be improved. We want to hear the views of the local community on the implications of this proposal. The engagement will run, or did run, for 28 days from Friday the 5th of April 2024 and closed on Friday the 3rd of May 2024. We have prepared a short survey which we hope many local people can complete. This feedback will be reviewed and taken into account where possible as we develop our plans if the project moves forward. We will provide a summary of the feedback received and how it has influenced our proposal to the DLUHC if and when we submit our planning proposals to the Secretary of State. There are some areas of our proposal where there is more opportunity for your feedback to influence our proposed plans, such as routes of new footpaths and cycleways and areas of landscaping and biodiversity outside of the theme park and resort, and other areas where there is less opportunity to influence our plans, primarily within the boundaries of the theme park and resort itself. This is because we have spent years delivering some of the best theme parks in the world and believe this is an area where we can best determine the visitor experience. We are, however, inviting comments on all aspects of the proposal and will take account of feedback where appropriate in developing our proposal further. So basically, you can tell us what you want in the local area, but when it comes to the theme park, we know more than you do.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
It's a fair point.
It is.
I see why they said it. They probably didn't need to say it, but it's kind of, it sets expectations, you know.
I wonder if there's ever been a point when Universal, or even Disney for that matter, have built a theme park where sort of public opinion has changed what they have actually done inside the theme park.
Probably not in the, planning and development, but, you look at Adventure in Disney in California, obviously in California, that park changed a lot after its opening years due to the absolute panning it got from visitors and locals and critics.
Well, I mean, it didn't make sense. Why did you do a California park in California? It makes no sense.
Exactly. It's, it made no sense. But yeah, I can understand why they're saying, look, we kind of know what we're doing here. We don't suggest rides. Which,
that's what, I mean, we talked about, like, Dawn, you found that survey that they sent out, and I had to look through a fair chunk of it, and it was literally just people asking for, make sure you bring Jurassic World, or we want Lord of the Rings, or we want Back to the Future, or whatever it is. No, it was like, a lot of it wasn't constructive advice. It was just people sort of blue skying what they wanted to see in that theme park. And it's like, I will tell you now, most of that's probably already signed, sealed, and ready to deliver.
To be fair, I know that's exactly what I would have done if I filled in that survey, no matter what they said.
Probably.
So I won that Jurassic Park Jeep ride you didn't build, and Answer Eventual those years back.
Jurassic World, the ball.
Yeah.
The gyrosphere.
Or if not, the one from Beijing.
Beijing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, an overview of our proposal. Any new development of this size takes time and significant investment. Across the world, we are focused on delivering a world-class experience for our guests, and we'd want any resort in the UK to be among the best of its kind in the world. We recognise the tremendous excitement our theme parks and developments bring, yet it is too early in the process to know the possibilities of featured attractions and experiences. Should we proceed with the project, we would confirm these at a later stage. We have set out here indicative representations of a potential master plan for the site. Designs will be finalised later if the project moves forward, and the uses shown may shift to any location within a specified zone. Our proposal also includes upgrades to local infrastructure, which will be consented as part of the project. More information is provided on boards managing transport and investing in local infrastructure.
It's interesting what they've said there, because from following Universal for nearly 15 years at this point, their concept art, 90% of the time, if not more, is usually spot on from what they bring.
Absolutely.
And the fact that we've already got concept art out there that they have produced and put out there, showing what a lot of people have sort of broken down and seem to point towards very specific IPs, is very interesting. That we've already talked about not everything being fully greenlit, and yet they're at that point where we've got concept art that you can look at and go, that's probably Back to the Future, and that might be this, and this might be that. I
think we all know that they'd have a fairly good idea of what they'd be bringing to this park, day one of this process.
Yeah.
But they have to say that it's, we can't possibly decide yet.
It makes you wonder how long they've been working on this proposal.
Yeah, or how long, the idea's been ticking around.
Because I know Epic Universe was 7 years in the making. And I'd be interested to go back and find out when the first actual announcement, like official Universal announcement, is we are building another park in Orlando, when that was.
I remember that announcement, and that's when we first saw the Epic concept art, which was, again, almost identical to the final product, apart from there was a monsters, show theatre instead of Curse of the Werewolf. And, there were some small differences in Celestial. I think it was, off the top of my head, 2017.
That long ago?
Wow.
What was the park originally called again? It was...
Fantastic Worlds.
Fantastic Worlds.
Which I'm so used to Epic Universe now, but at the time I was like, I actually preferred Fantastic Worlds.
Yeah, I was the same when it was first announced.
The first public announcement for Epic Universe was on August 1st, 2019.
So just before
when
COVID.
NBC Universal officially revealed it was building a new theme park at Universal Orlando, with the park's specific opening dates, 22nd of May, 25.
That's interesting then. So you look, so potentially only a year prior. So if you say we'd heard that Epic had been in the process of 7 years, then a year of process before they made an official announcement. So yeah, you would think if this is a year down the line, you would think a lot of those licensing agreements will have probably been at least sort of penciled in at this point.
Of course. I mean, I think they'd need to know that they have, outside of their own in-house IPs, have secured or at least be, deep negotiations for other IPs, which they think would fit a UK resort. I think that a company like Universal will want to have some more UK-centric IPs involved. And therefore, you kind of want to have the sort of security of knowing that those seem attainable before they start, making noise.
As long as it's not like Alton Towers and when they get like a CBeebies land.
To be fair, they did have a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory ride. It was absolute crap. They did have one.
We did it. It wasn't. It was the Great Glass Elevator. It wasn't bad, actually.
Oh, I mean, that's generous.
It was all right.
I mean, okay, for the time, maybe, but... It
was no Gringotts elevator, let's put it that way.
Definitely no Gringotts elevator. But there was a boat ride part of it as well.
I don't remember that section, if I'm honest.
Sure,
it was a long time ago.
Our design standards. We would set out a series of design standards for this theme park and resort experience, which, among other things, would seek to decrease its visual impact on the area. This includes creating an open sky scheme, I have no idea what that is, to reduce the apparent bulk and mass of development as it appears on the surrounding area and allow light to reach ground levels. The key design principles of this are...
landscape perimeter. So we beautifully landscape our theme parks and resorts and would provide an attractive landscape perimeter. In addition to creating significant green areas, the landscape perimeter reduces the visual impact of the resort and creates separation from the surrounding areas. And we all know from visiting Epic Universe how beautifully landscaped their theme parks can be.
Stunning. And this kind of works with the whole the UK mentality behind these things. Like with Alton Towers,
yes,
it is hidden from view. They're not allowed to have anything which appears over the tree line. And Universal really do this well.
They do, but what is an open sky scheme?
So I read that, and I think that's to do with the actual building process of trying to not have cranes and things impacting the skyline for local residents, is how I read that.
Okay. Yeah, massive development as appears in surrounding areas and allow light to reach ground levels. I think it also sounds like they're not going to make a sort of a Cedar Point-esque skyline where it's just a massive steel, and have a lot of sort of like clear space.
Yeah.
So it's just going to have trees and stuff covering the...
Yeah. When you think about Universal Orlando, there's very few spots from outside the parks where you can see anything from the inside the parks apart from the really high points like Velocicoaster, Top Hat, or the Volcano Bay Volcano.
Yes.
When you're driving along the roads between Islands of Adventure and the resorts like Sapphire, Cabana, or Pacific, you can see like little bits, but it's not like a theme park just right there next to you.
But then that Volcano Bay, the Krakatoa, that's put there for a very specific reason, because everyone driving along I-4 goes, what is that?
Yeah, It's huge, that thing. Huge.
And stunning as well.
It is. Okay. And next to these key design principles is the articulated skyline. Our theme parks and resorts include variegated skylines with extensive open sky views. We achieve this by incorporating components of varying heights. Most elements would not reach our maximum height limits and would typically range in height from 20 to 30 meters, while a few may rise to a higher level to create visual interest and orientation within the theme park and resort.
Interesting.
The weenies.
Yeah.
The what?
The weenies.
The things that people can see from outside of the resort that would make you go, what's that? I want to go and see what that is.
And also to orientate yourself when you're in the park.
Yes.
It's like, think of the castle at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
Wherever you are, you can normally see that. And you're going to work out, okay, I head towards there, I'm back in the middle.
Basically.
Okay, so this next part's exciting.
The next part of the key design is maximum heights. The maximum height of any component will be 115 meters, while the highest occupiable floor of any building would be limited to 75 meters.
Interesting.
These maximum heights will be determined with reference to features at our other theme parks and resorts and other attractions throughout Europe. We have no current plans to build structured parking, but if that were needed in the future, the height would be further limited to 40 meters. Non-theme park and resort users would have lower heights as appropriate, such as 75 meters for mixed-use commercial development, 30 meters for rail stations, and 20 meters for transportation hubs. Minimal development would be permitted within the restoration areas, which would focus on preserving, improving, and celebrating the natural environment.
So that 115 meters maximum height, do you guys know the height of the tallest roller coaster in Europe?
112 meters.
112 meters.
And which is, I feel like a terrible theme park fan right now. I feel like I should know what that is in Europe.
That is Red Force at Ferrari Land.
Of course it is. Yes, of course it is.
Yep. The next tallest is 77 meters, and the tallest in England at the moment, which is Hyperion Thorpe Park, is 71.9 meters.
So seeing as though I'm an old fart at this point, what is that in feet?
100, by the way, Velocicoaster, 47 meters.
That seems really tall when you're
that
up
is
the top
massively tall. What? So I need to find out what Falcon's Fury is at Busch Gardens then.
Okay, that 115 meters is 377 feet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So Falcon's Fury at Busch Gardens is 102.
So taller than that.
Wow, and that's tall. Like I haven't been to Busch Gardens since Falcon's Fury got built, but I know, like, I've ridden SheiKra, and if you look at a picture of SheiKra with Falcon's Fury next to it, there's a massive height discrepancy between the two of them. That is crazy.
SheiKra is 200 feet tall. That compares to 377 as the maximum height of any component.
That is an incredibly tall whatever it might. It does say component, so it could be anything.
But what else could you put in a theme park that would be 350 plus feet tall and make
nothing
any
really.
sense?
Yeah, that's true.
Hotels? No.
Not inside the whole.
A skyscraper.
Yeah, I mean, they're not. They've already said, haven't they? They've said about hotel law, didn't they? That it would only be
The highest occupiable floor of any building will be limited to 75
That's right.
meters.
Okay,
Yes.
so also we have no current plans to build structured parking.
So they're just going to do a
That
flat
will
car
need in the
park.
future. So it's not one of those.
No, it'll be like Epic, because Epic, I mean, I haven't actually, with my own eyes, seen the parking lot at Epic Universe.
Big.
Have we seen it?
Yeah. When we got dropped off at rideshare, you kind of go around the whole thing.
Yeah, I've not seen it.
I wasn't even.
I've seen
No,
aerial
and-
pictures of it, but I haven't actually seen it with my own eyes. And it's interesting because we speculated on UUOP when they were building Epic whether they would do like a multi-story parking lot like is at City Walk, and obviously they didn't. And I think they've obviously looked at how that's worked at Epic and feel like that's a better option. And I guess if you're trying to keep the heights of things down to not impact the skyline, then it makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean, again, in Orlando, weather, having no shade.
Yeah, but it's also
Awful.
is the UK having no shade is awful.
Oh, and not quite as bad as in Orlando in August.
No, not if it's going to be
That's true.
pouring down 80% of the year.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But
yeah.
down of rain most of the time,
Yeah.
or if it's snowing or if it's hailing.
Lovely.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I will be staying on
But-
site so I can walk.
The height thing, that is
Interesting.
the first thing in this, which is like that little spark of like, ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know Velocipede is already high enough. It feels high enough when you're at that top hat.
Well, this is substantially higher than that.
God.
Massively
Could be
higher than
substantially
that. Yeah, I can't even imagine. I think the highest, I think Velocicoaster might actually, I know Sheikah's probably the tallest thing. Actually, I'm going to have to have a look now at what the first drop of Mako is.
Mako's tall.
But yes, beware the ducks. 61 meters,
So just around half of that maximum height.
so 200 feet. Jesus. And I tell you what, have you done Mako?
No, haven't been to SeaWorld in years.
I've never been to SeaWorld.
Really?
Yeah.
We went in 2020 and rode Mako for the first time. And that first drop, it's not very often I will swear on the first drop of a coaster. Sheikah made me do it. Mako made me do it. It doesn't look that tall, and then you sort of crest and go down that other side, and you're like, holy
Oh, next to row out there, Donnie. You can do that front row.
No,
No?
because I think that drop is the thing is with Velocicoaster, the G-force is different. It doesn't push you down on your seat. It kind of lifts you up.
Yes,
and
there's
that's-
more
Really go
airtime.
at up speed consistently.
Like
over that
Stardust
top
Races
height.
is the same as that. There's a lot of airtime on Stardust.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't like Stardust.
Oh, I love
that much.
Stardust Races. I
My
adore
head-
it.
Was just
The thing is, we rode it. Well, you rode it once. I rode it twice. We rode yellow both times. My second ride was much smoother than the first ride.
the
I
first
just-
ride. I
just
got out. My
unlucky.
head felt like it was
Yeah,
shaking around in
my
a
first-
cage.
Really?
Our first ride in Stardust.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it is, but I did it again by myself, and my second ride was much smoother than that first ride. I have no idea why.
See, I've ridden it 6 times now, and it's always been smooth as glass.
Yeah, my second ride and it was great.
Weird.
Really smooth.
I'll try it again. I'll go on the green side next time
Yeah.
and then see how that goes. But I don't know.
But yeah, looking at this, it's interesting. Again, we're already talking about how far down the line is this thing or not. But they've already put in their planning of specific heights that they are going to build things. So this is way, way further down the line than I think we probably
Yeah.
realise.
And in that concept art, there is one suspiciously tall-looking roller coaster structure.
That the Back to the Future one.
Yeah.
I don't know why that needs to be 300 feet.
I think they've already got everything planned.
Although you two would both be in trouble if that does come to fruition, because it looks like that would have substantial backward sections.
Oh,
We can try Dramamine.
Do you know what I mean?
doesn't
Yeah.
work. I've tried Dramamine. It doesn't work.
Doesn't
It's
it
the
work?
backward sections
never
kill
tried
me.
it.
So apparently, Michelle gave me a hint that you
I heard
breathe-
this and passes on to Dawn, yeah.
Yeah, so you
What?
breathe out while doing the backward sections. And I did it once on the, what was it? Must have been Mummy, because we didn't do Hagrid's on this last trip. And I was okay, but I nearly passed out by the end because it's quite a long section. And when you're trying to breathe out for the entire thing, it's longer than you realise.
How do you keep breathing out?
Or you take a big flick in and you slowly exhale.
But when you've run out of air, do you just breathe in again? And
Yeah.
I'll just forget. And then I'll just like,
Block
Ugh.
Anyway, moving on. The next up, where they are talking about orientation. So, non-guest facing support back of house facilities would typically be located closer to our site boundaries. The heights of these buildings will be limited to reduce their visual impact and would typically range in height from 15 metres to 25 metres. We believe that our theme parks and resorts speak for themselves and have provided images of our other theme parks to demonstrate how these design principles have been delivered elsewhere around the world. Obviously, we're very well acquainted with Universal Orlando at this point.
Yep.
If Tracy were here, well, you guys have been as well, so you know what Universal Japan is like as well.
I
Not
do.
been.
Dawn hasn't.
Dawn hasn't,
I've
yeah, but
not
you
been.
and Tracy was each, but so I've watched a lot of walkthroughs of it. We've watched a lot of walkthroughs of Beijing. Singapore seems like a weird little park.
It does. Although the Horror Nights looks good there.
Yes, it does. But they basically said themselves, haven't they? They know what they're doing.
Yeah, they do. I mean,
They do. You only have to. The Epic Universe is the one you need to look at. Like, that's their latest thing. This is what we can do. And hell yeah, that park is stunning.
What I was thinking is all the negatives that's come out about Epic, because that's the newest so far, it's the newest theme park that they've opened. I know this is already like 5 years down the line, but do you think the negatives would affect the opening of the UK theme park?
or the design.
I don't think so. I think you'll find, because this is 5.5, 6 years down the line, and by that point, so the thing with Epic was, Epic isn't the park it's supposed to be. Because we know they're talking about expansion plots now, and those aren't expansion plots. They're just areas of those worlds that they didn't get finished in time. So they've obviously set their opening date of May 22nd, hoping to get it finished, and it just didn't for whatever reason. Whether COVID impacted that a lot or what, I don't know. But then,
they
to
basically
be fair,
shut down construction for a long period of time due to COVID, didn't they?
It was supposed to open originally in 2023. Which is interesting, to 2 years. But anyway, so in their initial plan, that park was meant to have way more capacity than it does now.
Yep.
And so a lot of those negative comments on Epic are purely down to ride capacity. And it's a thing of, we talked about it on UUOP, we've talked it between the four of us. Epic is a different park. It's not meant to be a theme park done like every other theme park where it's just about riding rides. It's not. It's so much more of an experience. And honestly, when we went, so we did 3 days out there in October, and our last day we had no express passes, no anything to help us get through those lines, and we got in line for stuff that we were prepared to wait for. We single rided other stuff, we got drinks, we went and saw shows, we ate, we hung out, we interacted with characters, and honestly had the best day. An experience that, like, when we came out that night, we were sat in Bar Helios, and I said, that is how you do Epic Universe. But that being said, I do understand, and I said this to Tracy, we're in a very privileged position, because that last day was our 7th day in that park this year. The average person isn't going to have 7 days to do that. So at that point for us, it's like, I've ridden everything in this ride, in this park at least once. I've experienced 90% of what this park has to offer, so it's not a big deal to me if I have a leisurely day. Whereas the average person who's maybe only got 1 day there, who wants to try and do everything, I can understand why they get off.
Yeah, it feels like a theme park that is designed for people like us in many ways. People who want to keep going back and just kind of spend time.
Yeah.
And, like, relax in the park.
I wonder if they do it differently for...
I mean, I think
and target into, like,
there are definitely lessons I think they can and will learn.
100%.
I mean, I hope that they learn to take into consideration the climate.
or I don't know, just by reading this through.
Yeah, but we've talked about that previously, haven't we, with Singapore and Beijing and Japan, that they have winter seasons.
They have.
So it's not like they haven't done theme parks in a similar climate. But then we talked about it with Epic. They know what Orlando has to offer, and yet they still build 90% of their rides outdoors, which is strange.
Yeah, insane. But, I think they will learn lessons. I think they'll want to open with higher capacity attractions.
But I agree with Dawn. I think she's right to be concerned.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
Yeah, because the UK climate isn't, what people come to the UK for.
No, it really isn't.
Well, speaking of the parks themselves, and this is where I start really enjoying the words they're putting out. They talk about the universal experience.
Let's see what they believe the universal experience is.
And how they try to explain it to people who aren't like us.
That's very interesting, actually, yeah.
So they say the theme parks and resorts we create and operate globally are very different to a typical amusement park and are unlike anything that currently exists in the UK.
The amusement park.
Yep.
Amusement park. We take guests to places they couldn't otherwise go and that typically exist only in their imagination. To do this, we use cutting-edge technology and partner with some of the world's most beloved storytellers to create fully immersive experiences where the attractions, placemaking, food, merchandise, and costumes all work together. Inside a Universal resort and park are rides and attractions. As part of our offer, we invite guests to experience beloved stories and exhilarating adventures in immersive new ways. The rides and attractions we create are only made possible by pairing innovation and technology with exceptional creative delivery. Guests in our theme parks may find themselves chased by velociraptors, fending off an alien attack, or escaping an indoor tomb. Each theme park is unique and allows guests to be fully immersed in different lands.
I mean, I don't disagree with any of that statement right there.
Absolutely not. And this is, again, for people who don't really understand the difference between, let's say, Thorpe Park, Alton Towers, and the Universal.
Yeah.
I think for a paragraph or two, this starts to summarize that difference very well.
So it's pretty immersed in different lands. Do you think they're going to do something similar?
Yeah, I mean, Dawn, you correct. I think if you look at, like Hogsmeade was the first one really, and then Hogsmeade kind of paved the way for Diagon Alley, and Diagon Alley was that first fully immersive world that wasn't. So you look at like Islands of Adventure, you walk from one land to the other, whereas Diagon Alley was the first sort of land that Universal did that isn't in the main thoroughfare, that you walk around the park and don't go into it, you've got to walk into it and then exit out. And they realised that what a game changer that was for immersion inside a theme park land. And then Disney doubled down on it with Galaxy's Edge.
But they did it half as well.
I haven't been, so I cannot comment. But then you look at Epic Universe, and that whole park is this. So I expect them to do... Looking at that concept art, though, I expect it looks more like it's going to be more like Islands of Adventure than an Epic Universe.
Yeah, they did describe it as a studios park.
Yes.
So I imagine it will be very well themed, but I don't think it will be like, Portals or Diagon Alleys.
I think they will also want to keep Epic Universe as the only one like that, right? Like that is the one and only, and if you want to experience what we can do in that kind of format, you have to come to Epic Universe.
I'm sure we will see a lot of sort of, marketing for the Floridian parks at this park.
Yes.
I think they'll use this almost like a showroom to try to get people from there also over to Orlando. But, they're focusing on facts that lots of people don't want to go to theme parks because, I don't care about rides. For example, when I was a kid, getting my mum to go to a theme park was a real challenge. She had no interest in it. She'd take a book and she'd sit on a bench and read, and it wasn't a fun day for her.
Because she doesn't ride rides. There's a lot of people like that. My parents didn't really.
Exactly. So with this, though, they are kind of selling this. They're saying this isn't just about the rides. This is attractions. This is food. This is,
They also differ the whole amusement and theme park.
Yes, and Dawn, you've been pushing that right from our first episode, and you're right. And the fact that Universal are coming out there as well, it's like they really need to. They're really trying to differentiate themselves from whatever you've experienced theme park wise in the UK at this point. That is not what we are. Yeah,
you may not like that. Doesn't mean you won't like this.
I mean, that's what I was going to say to you guys. You like. Dawn, I think Orlando's the first. Am I right in remembering you have not visited a theme park in the UK?
Well, I've been to Alton Towers, not theme parks.
Right.
To Alton Towers.
How long ago was the last time you went to them?
I thought park, but at U times.
Guy, from the first time we'd been to Alton Towers over here, we'd been to a couple of local theme parks. It did not prepare us for walking into, Magic Kingdom or Hollywood Studios or Islands of Adventure or Universal Studios for the first time, because we'd seen nothing on the scale of that. I mean, riding Spider-Man for the first time, my jaw was on the floor.
They're different products. They are completely different products.
100%. Like walking into Islands of Adventure for the first time, of seeing a theme park built from the ground up, themed to the nth degree, was mind-blowing. And I was 28-year-old or something at that point. I can't imagine as a 10-year-old kid walking into these parks.
Well, that was me. I mean, I went to Islands of Adventure in 1999, aged 13. and I rode Spider-Man the year it opened, age 13, and it was just, I came back home, I remember, and I tried to explain to like people here what it was like, and I couldn't because you couldn't find any points of comparison which made any sense at all. There was nothing. You could try to explain what they do, but then you just kind of end up, not really making much sense because they rides don't make sense until you go on.
The internet wasn't around. You couldn't
you couldn't just put it on YouTube. Yeah, that would be the easy thing. There you go, watch it. Now they couldn't. Yeah, it's just I was in no way mentally prepared for the experience of walking into one of these world-class theme parks.
Yeah, and when Dawn and I met, I was deep into the addiction already.
And I didn't understand the whole theme park thing at all because I wasn't at that point. I grew out of rides, grew out of roller coasters, I grew out of all of that.
The first thing you said to me was, "Isn't that for kids?"
That's Disney, because I thought Disney was for kids.
It is.
But then I still remember our first trip. That's my first ever trip to not only Florida itself, but to Disney. And
the first park you went into was Islands of Adventure, because we were there for one day before going over to Disney, because it's a weird thing, but the year I met Dawn, I was going to Orlando later that year with a friend of mine. And Dawn I kind of ended up doing the same holiday twice back to back. I spent like 9 nights there with a friend, and then I drove him to the airport. I picked Dawn up and I did the exact same trip again.
Okay.
And because like when the changeover date happened when we were at Universal, Dawn had like one morning at Universal before we went back to Disney to start the holiday again.
Yeah.
And so Dawn's first experience of any of the Orlando parks was we went in and we went into Hogsmeade and got a butterbeer just before heading out.
I remember we have a picture of that.
Yeah.
I mean, that first time, that's when my addiction started, actually. That my whole view that's when I understood the difference between amusement and theme parks, and my whole view just changed at that point. I mean, I still don't really like roller coasters, like big roller coasters that much, but apart from Velocicoaster.
Yeah, but you don't need to.
No, exactly. I don't need to.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point. It's like if I don't ride, I can just walk into the theme parks and not ride a single ride and still enjoy myself and have so many things to. I mean, the food,
and the theme food as well. Yeah,
I think that's the biggest issue they've had with Epic at this point, because it is taking that experiential park to the next level, and people just don't know what to do with that because they go, I want to ride rides, and there isn't that many there, and they don't know what to do, so they just complain because everyone has the same mentality, and that's why the lines. Yes, there's less capacity than they want, but also everyone's just like ride the rides, and it's like there's so much more in that park to do.
Yeah. I think this park will be somewhere between an Islands and Studios and an Epic.
Yeah.
I think it feels to me like it will have sort of the detailed theming of an Epic minus the portals. I think it will have the kind of the structural layout, kind of the overarching visual theme of the Studios, but also have kind of the mix of like rides that Islands does, where it's not so indoor 3D. I think so I think it'll be a kind of a greatest hits type thing. And I think it's going to be completely different to anything a lot of visitors will have ever experienced before.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Right, yeah. Okay, moving on. The wider resort, city walk, hotels, and entertainment. As well as exhilarating experiences, our theme parks provide spectacular live entertainment. This is hosted both within the resort and by the entrances as part of our city walks. Accessing City Walk does not require a ticket, and this is where visitors and the local community could come for a unique culinary experience. I cannot wait. With themed restaurants like Toothsome Chocolate Emporium and Savory Feast Kitchen, for example, in City Walk Orlando. City Walk's themed experiences are very different from typical entertainment, and therefore are not direct competitors to the leisure options that you experience in the town centre on High Street. I literally cannot wait. This is what I'm looking forward to, is the food.
Really?
I mean, the food at Universal, I know you can get those typical theme park
burger, fries, nuggets,
like food, but also you can get amazing food, like incredible food.
Elevated
and not just in City Walk, in the hotels, in the they've got like themed restaurants like the Toothsome there. It's just I cannot wait.
Wait, in many ways, this is the part which kind of I'm most intrigued by, is what the City Walk hotels, the resort looks like over here.
Yeah.
Because I think we can all get some idea of what the theme park is going to look and feel like to some degree.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be a theme park. You know, it's likely from that concept art to have a, you know, water feature lagoon type thing in the middle, as we have themed areas. But what is our city walk going to look like? What is our hotel going to look like? What is the
food going to look like?
Yeah, well, we have a garden walk, you know.
Yeah, it's interesting because City Walk, the first few visits, City Walk wasn't on our radar. It was a thoroughfare to get to the theme parks. And it wasn't until our third trip where we started to kind of look around, and we went to, of all places, Bubba Gump for the first time and actually really enjoyed it. And now I could probably spend a day on City Walk now, just hang out, eat some food, just wander through the store, go and play mini golf. You know,
the little bars by the water.
Yeah,
you know, there's often acts on the stage.
It's such an amazing
mini golf.
place.
Don't never play mini golf with Dawn though.
I get very competitive.
Very competitive.
Yeah, us too. So maybe we should play. But yeah, I love City Walk now.
But actually, funnily enough, the first restaurant that Dawn ever went to on City Walk was Bubba Gump.
Interesting.
Yeah, I remember that. I fell asleep.
At the table.
Yeah.
Wow, I've only done that at Vivo.
Sorry, Father. But yeah, this is exciting.
Yeah, so alongside the City Walk could be a range of hotel and other accommodations, although we expect that many of our guests would also be staying in a range of different locations across the UK, including within Bedford itself. We are also considering other mixed-use development at the site that would be complementary to the theme park and resort, but could also be used by other parties such as conference facilities, exhibition spaces, sports experiences, employment uses, and associated uses. Interesting.
Should we get divorced and then get remarried here?
Why can't we just renew our vows?
I mean, you could just do that.
It's not quite as dramatic though, is it?
Well, it's expensive.
When we get taken on as the official UK podcast, we'll be down there in their broadcast studio, in their extra facilities.
I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with the hotel as well.
Yes.
I wonder if it's going to be similar to the Lowe's hotels that
Are Lowe's going to operate?
Well, we talked about that already, haven't we? It will be interesting to see if they will partner with Lowe's or whether they'll partner with like a Hilton or something, maybe.
Travelodge.
Yeah. Premier Inn.
The thing is that Helios is a lovely hotel, but it's got quite a like a muted theme in a way. It's Mediterranean.
But I like that, actually.
I agree.
Yeah.
But in a way, I don't think that's what most people think of when they think of a theme park resort hotel.
Yeah, so a friend of ours has just been out to Orlando for 3 weeks or 2 weeks, and they did a split stay, and they stayed at Sapphire Falls. Stunning, love Sapphire Falls, and then a week at All Star Movies, and that looked like someone ate all the Disney movies and spewed it out over a hotel, and it looked so tacky.
And they're kind of motels, you know, all the corridors are external. It's
where is All Star? I know, but
it's one of the value resorts at Disney.
Oh,
I mean, which one did they stay at first? Because if they went from Sapphire to, oh god,
and they had a bad experience at Sapphire Falls, actually.
What?
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll give them a plug. My good friend Sam from 2 3/4. I'm not actually sure what their YouTube channel is. 2 3/4, something like that. They vlogged the whole trip, and when they stayed at Sapphire Falls tried to take the cost of their hotel out of his bank account about 4 times. So they basically wiped his entire bank account out.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was not good.
No, that's not good.
But anyway, these
still
things
a bit of a
happen.
downgrade going from Sapphire to All Star.
Exactly.
Anyway, moving on. Valuing accessibility and inclusion. Universal Destinations and Experiences works hard to prioritize accessibility and inclusion and make these values an integral part of everything we do across our resorts, theme parks, and attractions around the world. We are committed to creating a theme park experience that's inclusive and accessible to everyone, ensuring that all our guests can embark on unforgettable journeys, regardless of their abilities.
This makes me think of what happened at
Stardust. Yeah,
Stardust.
I think that incident is going to affect a lot of what happens in this theme park moving forward. I mean, to be fair, we noticed a lot more signage and a lot more stuff being spieled out over the speaker systems, obviously around the park, but very specifically at Stardust races. There's definitely major changes happened because of what happened.
And it's not only affected Stardust. Already Monsters Unchained has different requirements for...
There's other rides that they had different requirements as well.
Velocicoaster, I think it's the same.
Yeah.
Or is it? Yeah, more similar harness.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah, but that's good. I guess the accessibility laws over here will be slightly different in the US, but yeah, they will know that they've got to accommodate people from all over the world, because it's going to attract people from all over the world, 100%.
It is. And I mean, ultimately, accessibility is incredibly important, but safety more so.
Absolutely.
So if they have to make adjustments based on lessons learned from that unfortunate incident, then, it can only be a good thing.
Yeah, yep. Thoughtful park design. From the moment you enter one of our parks, accessibility is built into many aspects of our design. Our pathways are wide and smooth, making it easy for guests using wheelchairs or mobility aids to navigate with ease. And ramps and elevators are strategically placed to ensure that each corner of the park is accessible to all. All toilet blocks have accessible facilities and are placed in easy to navigate locations. And we also offer a variety of accommodations at our hotels and restaurants to ensure that every guest feels comfortable and supported during their visit.
I'm going to question that all their pathways are wide. Hogsmeade, anyone? Smooth.
Yeah, one smooth.
Most of ours.
Nope.
Also, I wonder what with car parks, because it's an American company. Their car parks in America are huge.
Oh, yeah.
The standard parking for like a normal car is huge. Their accessibility parking is even bigger. And the size of our accessibility disabled parking is the size of their normal size car parks.
Interesting.
So I wonder if I don't know why I thought this. I just wonder if they kind of would.
A good sized car park.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So whenever we
People
park at our local
traveling with
Tesco, we always end up talking about how good the parking spaces are. And
And because people traveling with families in cars, there's going to be, then they're not going to be small cars if they have like families, SUV and stuff.
Yeah, this is also going to the parking lot's going to have to be big, because it's not, you're not going to have like it is in the US of people, because it's not a tourist hub. You haven't got all these hotels like on iDrive or around, in the vicinity that offer shuttles or people can walk to or just get an Uber. People are primarily going to be driving. I know they said the rail links for people coming from Europe and stuff are there, but primarily I think you're going to find most people going to this park will be driving.
Yeah.
Interesting. So moving on, a choice of attractions. Our attractions are designed to accommodate a wide range of ages and abilities. Typically, an attraction or roller coaster would have one seat or row that can accommodate guests with walking impairments or wheelchair users. We do not patent any accessibility features like the seats on the rides pictured. There are no pictures here. We are just reading words off a page, which allows others to make positive changes across the industry. And again, since this document came out, as we've talked about, Stardust Race's incident this year will have affected all that already, I would expect.
It is, but actually, I did not know that they don't patent any accessibility features so that others in the industry can make the same changes.
Oh, that's good. I didn't realize that's what it meant, but no, that's good.
Yeah. Anyway, assistive technology. We provide state-of-the-art assistive technology to enhance the experience for guests with sensory, visual, or hearing impairments. This includes captioning, audio description services for shows and attractions, as well as tactile maps and guides. Our parks have a phone app in place to provide more accessibility information, including ride usability requirements.
Interesting. How do you use an app if you have a visual impairment?
You've got things which will talk to you as you use the phone, so it will read what's on your screen.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, there's also, actually completely off topic, but there's a great app you can sign up to where someone who has a visual impairment can kind of open this app, and they'll be connected with another random user, and they can help them with what they're trying to do. So you will connect to someone and they'll have their phone camera on, and you can help them pick out the item in the shop that they're trying to, to pick. I've got one that's cool, but it's very, very good.
How did you know about this?
I'm not sure.
Guy's a man of many talents, Dawn. You should know this.
It's called Be My Eyes, designed for blind and low vision people to get help by connecting with sighted volunteers to describe their surroundings.
That's cool.
Yeah. So what we need to do is get Universal to employ us to be that service. Yeah.
That would be amazing, by the way. I tell you what, if they want to employ me, I will walk round the parks with these people.
Yeah, 100%.
I will be there seeing iDog if we do an American. Yeah. I'll just guide dog for us in the UK.
Pay me in butterbeer. Frozen butterbeer.
Oh, frozen butterbeer.
And the diabetes medication.
I mean, that's what I was going to say. You're going to need the insulin shots to go along with it.
Did I not
worth it?
Read this in a podcast, in the UOP podcast about butterbeer.
What about it?
I've been a few discussions about it.
We've had many discussions about it.
They're about between frozen butterbeer or hot butterbeer.
There's one clear answer, one clear winner.
Hot, 100%.
And they all voted hot
Frozen,
butterbeer.
clearly.
And I was just like, oh, gross.
Oh no, Tracy doesn't like any of the butterbeer.
Frozen butterbeer is just
Frozen butter's
amazing.
so good.
The hot's amazing.
I didn't like it. It's too sweet. I had to throw it down the drain.
Well, I tried the hot, but it wasn't a hot day, so it kind of didn't hit the same.
Doesn't really make any difference to me if it's hot. It could be
No.
1,000,000 degrees or -6. I will still drink hot butterbeer.
Fair enough.
Anyway, a team member resource group that's called Mobilities. It creates an environment that expands awareness, generates empathy, and works for the betterment of our colleagues with varying abilities. In addition, we employ sign language interpreters at our parks and have them available at our various shows and performances.
That's awesome. I've never noticed them, but that's pretty cool.
I've never noticed them either.
No,
Awesome.
I'm sure they're there.
Yeah, well, they have to be there though, don't they? It's simple as that.
Yeah.
Continuous improvement. Accessibility is an ongoing journey, and we are committed to continuing improving and innovating to better serve our guests. We welcome feedback from our visitors and work closely with accessibility experts to identify areas for the improvement and implement solutions that enhance the experience for all. Now, we'll say that's one of the things there about feedback, and it's something we talk about a lot on UUOP. If you have a good experience or a bad experience, always relate that to guest services.
Yep.
But do it in a nice way. If you have a bad experience, don't go in shouting and screaming, because it gets nobody, it doesn't get you anywhere. It's that thing, they will only learn by people telling them of their experiences. And it's like we see so many people moaning about bad experiences on Twitter or in Facebook groups, and it's like, that's not helping anybody. All that's doing is you getting it off your chest, and probably a ton of people coming down on you for being a whingy, right? So there are, but you can do it in the app. I think they have a chat version in the app. Obviously, this is for Orlando at this point, or guest services or whatever. But let them know, and that door swings both ways. It doesn't have to be negative experiences. I love that they've got the UO fist bump in Orlando, and I know how much that means to team members. So getting that guest feedback is huge for how these parks operate. And I know they've said that the guest feedback's not going to affect what they do inside the park. Design-wise, I think, Guy, you kind of brought up, but from day-to-day operations, that feedback is massive.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where if there are small changes they can make based on guest feedback, they will do it. They're just saying they're not going to, make a Lord of the Rings land just because Dave Smith asked them to.
How did you know David asked for that? Yeah, I mean, they've really sold. It's funny because it's so weird for us to read this stuff. Because for us, we're like, yeah, we already know all this. But I can't imagine reading this as someone who has no idea what a Universal theme park is, or even a theme park. They might have been to one as a kid, and now as a 35-year-old reading this, they're building the Universal, but let's have a look what's going on. And then to read this and be like, okay.
I mean, the thing is that I'm sure we've all had the experience of trying to explain why we love Universal so much to people who have no frame of concept for what it is, or what separates it. And I have used a lot of words to try to summarize it and failed massively, on multiple occasions. And I think this is a fairly, for a concise explanation of what the park is, what makes it different, I think it does a remarkable job, this little document, because it really does. It hits all the notes. It's like, we care about, the way it looks. We care about accessibility. We care about being different. We care about immersive experiences. It's not just rides. It is, when you actually kind of break it down, a very, very good sort of general explanation for people who aren't us.
Yeah. Like Dawn, you're the prime example. You would never have gone to Orlando probably if it wasn't for Guy. Because even at that time, you were like, do I really want to go? It's just a theme park. They're just for kids, whatever. And then you go and you see it for what it is through your own eyes and go, yeah, I get this.
And also, I don't think I knew, I think I mentioned this before in the previous episode, that I don't think I knew Universal existed as a theme park.
Yes, you have said that. Yeah.
I just thought that it was like I've never been to the one in LA, but that's what I imagined it would have been like. The one in LA, because it's not really a theme park, it's more of a
half a theme park and half a studio.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking more.
I think it's getting more like a theme park now, isn't it?
It is. But then again, we're talking, 13, 14 years ago. And that was, I think, Hogsmeade hadn't opened at Hollywood at that point. And
nothing really had opened at that point. So I didn't really know Universal existed, and I was going to Disney.
It's interesting as you say that as well, Don, that I have mentioned every other Universal park in this episode, but completely forgot about Universal Studios Hollywood.
The OG.
Yeah.
I think of it more as a theme park and a studio tour. Because I've been to Hollywood. I went when I was like, a kid or a teenager or something. But when I think of the Universal Resorts, I'm like you, Lee, it doesn't really come up in my head because it's not one which I've ever been really driven. It's not one I'd travel out of my way to visit. I'll put it that way.
Yes.
Whereas the other ones, I can see myself traveling out of my way to visit them.
Yeah.
Although with the Fast and Furious drift coaster, that may change. Although,
it won't. You'll get to ride it in Orlando soon.
Yeah, well, I mean, I may get to, but again, with sideways and backwards sections, I'm not sure that Dawn's going to be too good in that one.
Sideways, I'm okay. It's the backwards and the kind of the zigzag.
Honestly, after sitting next to you on Guardians Cosmic Rewind, I'm not sure if I want to sit next to you on the backwards side again. I was terrified.
I'm concerned if I ever get to ride that, but we'll see. That's a different ride in a different park.
This is true. But for Fast and Furious, I'll sit next to you, Donnie, but I'm going to wear a poncho just in case.
Just tie a sick bag around my mouth.
Like a horse feed bag.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Yeah.
My cousin threw up in Hagrid's.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I could smell. I was like so bad. I was like, I smelled vomit.
Let's not go there.
Yeah, let's. So that brings us to the end of this 4th episode of the podcast. We are excited to continue looking into the creation of this new resort.
Make sure to like and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Just search UUGBP and email us at universalgreatbritain@gmail.com.
Of course, be sure to check out all the other podcasts on the UUOP network, the OG, the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast,
Rush of Fear, our year-round Halloween Horror Nights podcast,
the Theme Park Duo for SoCal Theme Park and Haunt News, as well as general theme park info.
The Taste of Universal, our Universal Orlando food and beverage dedicated podcast.
The Portkey Passport, our adult-centric Disney podcast.
And Big Dumb Stuff for comedy, pop culture and theme entertainment podcasts. Find them all on podcast platforms.
We'd also love for you to help shape the conversation, so do get in touch with any of the topics that you would like to hear covered on the show.
But for now, that'll be us signing off.
We hope you'll join us next month on the unofficial Universal Great Britain podcast.
Ta-ra!